4K Batman videos.
Okay, let's try this again.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make your computer crash.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. Sorry about that, guys. That was the first time that's ever happened, but hopefully it won't happen again.
Yeah, I think my videos were a little too much for the stream.
Well, I'm going to put them on potato quality.
That works for me.
But if you're just coming in, we are supposed to be doing a Reactionstravaganza. Unfortunately, my computer decided to crash right in the middle of a goddamn live stream. So...
I still need a screen share.
Oh, yes. Yes. Fuck you, Discord.
Voila, problem solved.
Right. Okay.
Let's try this, shall we?
Yeah, I don't even know how far we were into it. Actually, let me at least put it on 360p so it's not so potato quality. Actually, let me just leave it out of white, out of full screen. Maybe that'll help.
A little bit.
But welcome to another Reactionstravaganza. As long as the stream fucking holds this time. Here we have some Arkham Knight gameplay from my co-host Kason, who has just recently begun doing his own gameplay videos.
On PS5.
Yep.
On my PS5, I have a profile on it, so it counts as my gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I even have the PlayStation app on my phone.
Oh, there you go. So, let's just put... I just had a thought and then I lost it again.
I'm done.
It just reminds me that I need to, at some point, do the Arkham games. I've been kind of avoiding it because I know Warner Brothers is very sketchy about their copyright claims. Sometimes they'll leave a video for eons, and then other times they'll just... And then just out of the clear blue at random, they will be like, oh, copyright claim on our music. And that's the only thing they can claim is the music.
Well, Warner Brothers trying to do anything to get some extra money.
Yeah, which I don't get. Apart from the fact they've been hemorrhaging money for the last several years.
It's like you make plenty of fucking money.
Well, they've been bleeding revenue for the last several years, from what I understand.
Right. Shock 3 of them at one time.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going for the big guys first with no hesitation.
Yeah, well, you gotta take out the big guys first. That's kind of a given.
Right.
I always look at that disarm move with the riot shield, and I always think, how does he not collapse their trachea?
I don't know if he's hitting him in the face or hitting him in the mouth.
I always assume he's going for that. He might just be hitting him in the chest. But at the same time, it's like, if you hit him in the chest, you get it just right. You can collapse that. You can just stop their heart.
Yeah. So, what do you think?
Very, very nice. Very good. And I'm going to say this about the Batsuit. I know this is such an awkward nitpick, but this is a thing that I have with superhero costumes. I do not like I don't like it when they get rid of the underwear. Because it looks... Okay, the tights, the underwear, it looks goofy, it looks silly, we all know it, we all accept it. When it's gone, it's even worse.
That's literally a part of the bat suit.
They look like... When there's no underwear there, it looks like they're just wearing skin-tight long johns. Especially Batman and Superman.
At least when they did it for the DCEU Batman Superman, at least the suits didn't look that bad.
Well, I still think like they look like they need some support. Especially like Superman, like he's got a fire hose down there. He's probably got without that underwear, he's got to wrap this thing around his leg a couple times and like tuck it into his boot.
So does Affleck.
It's like just give him some support is all I'm saying.
But I'm pretty sure David Bowie in Labyrinth has a bigger crotch bulge than the two of them. Well, it's David Bowie. He was a goddamn sex symbol of the 80s and 70s.
Or it's like they have to shave, but it's like it's worse without the underwear because now the artist has to shade in their junk.
Oh God!
So you just picture some poor artist over at DC or Marvel just going, "I miss the underwear." I'm
tired of shading for the junk.
I've never had to shade in a scrotum before. or it's like or in like Spider-Man or Nightwing comics where their legs are always splayed wide apart. Just in unnatural directions, unnatural angles, like they're trying to direct air traffic.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, keeping it out of full screen seems to be working, so... With that in mind... How far down the YouTube AVGN wannabe rabbit hole have you ever gone?
Oh boy, where are we going with this?
There is a guy that I've been following since high school who generally does a lot of movie-based video games. He reviews a lot of movie-based video games, and he goes by Film and Stuff.
Huh.
He's not really posting on YouTube anymore. He's moved over to Subscribestar, but I'm still subbed to his channel just on the off chance.
Yeah, understandable.
But we're gonna
take. I didn't even know Running Man got a video game.
Oh yeah, if it was a Schwarzenegger movie, it got a game in the 80s and 90s. Unless it was Kindergarten Cop and Junior and Twins.
Hey, Kindergarten Cop would have worked as a PS1 game.
Eh?
Actually, no, that movie came out like 4 or 5 years before the PlayStation.
Yeah, it could have been like one of those Sierra Online point-and-click games like King's Quest or Police Quest or Gabriel Knight. I could see Kindergarten Cop.
What's that cartoon fantasy game where it shows movies of your outcome when you pick them? Like Dragon's Quest or whatever?
Dragon's Lair?
Dragon's Lair? It has that goof in Cartoon Night?
Yeah, which that game was basically an interactive movie.
Yeah, the gameplay looks like that of a 90s Disney movie.
Yeah, well, the animation in that game was done by Don Bluth, who was a Disney animator for a while until he broke off and started doing his own thing, and he came out with Secret of NIMH, American Tail, Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Huh. Noted.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that kind of thing, I think it's worth noting that in Jack 2, Baron Praxis is voiced by none other than Clancy Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't believe me? Look up Baron Praxis.
Huh. Nice. I'll have to keep that in mind for after the Running Man videos.
Yeah.
So.
I just wish it didn't take me 20 years to realize, hey, wait a minute, that's the voice of Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, he's also the Harbinger from John Wick 4.
Yeah. Yeah, Clancy Brown was also in Dexter New Blood as the main villain.
Nice.
And I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you ever decide to watch that, just know that even if you like Clancy Brown, you'll be rooting for his character to get Dexter's cable.
Nice.
Okay, shall we move on?
Yes. There's actually 2 parts to his Running Man review, starting with the stupid moments in gaming. And this is a doozy.
Yours discretion is advised.
While doing a review of the Running Man for the Amiga, I came upon what may be the stupidest fucking moment in a video game ever. And if it's not the stupidest fucking moment in a video game, it's gotta be at least in the top 5.
Oh.
Now, I was going to incorporate this into the actual review, but there were so many screw-ups and so many problems that it would have added at least another 5 to 10 minutes to the video. So I thought, you know what, this is so fucking bad that it deserves its own video. It's really that fucking horrendous. So let's get into it. The stupidest fucking moment in a video game ever. The Running Man for the Amiga.
Oh boy.
Ta-da! Here it is, folks. The stupidest moment in a video game ever. It comes in the very first level of the Running Man, not even 5 minutes into it. You kick a dog, which of course engenders my sympathy, and then...
Great game to play if you're John Wick.
The hell?
Yeah, it's a great game to play if you're John Wick. You start the game off by kicking a dog.
Wait, rewind that.
Folks, the stupidest moment in a video game ever. It comes in the very first level of the Running Man, not even 5 minutes into it. You kick a dog, which of course engenders my sympathy, and...
John Wick intensifies.
Yes.
Don't let Keanu Reeves play this game.
No.
Because Keanu Reeves will turn into John Wick.
Keanu Reeves versus Schwarzenegger.
Okay, Schwarzenegger's tough, but he's not gonna he won't survive several slugs to the chest.
Okay, Schwarzenegger in 87 versus John Wick, it would be fairly even playing. It would be a pretty tough battle for both of them. Schwarzenegger now, I mean, he ain't exactly Mr. Universe anymore.
And I'm sure he could still kick someone's ass.
And then you get past this small part and come to this jump. This jump right here is the worst fucking moment in a video game ever. Doesn't look that bad to you? Well, just wait. It gets a hell of a lot fucking worse. This is one of these annoying jumps where your timing and your spacing have to be perfect. Period.
Looks like the ice levels in Batman Return to Joker on NES.
Ugh.
You know, the one where you get the bat gun?
Yeah.
And then there's also Batman Revenge of the Joker on Sega Genesis, which is basically like a higher bit version of that game I just mentioned.
Yeah.
But, you know, these look like these... I'm sorry, I'm having flashbacks I don't want to have.
Is a millimeter, right. You are fucked. Now, in a good game with tight controls, this would be bad enough. But you put it in a game like The Running Man where the controls are like fucking cement, and you have the recipe for a fucking nightmare. When I first got to this jump, I screwed up a couple of times, and I thought, okay, it's likely my fault, I'm just not used to these shitty controls yet. Like this part here, I ran too fast and I fell off the edge before I can jump. Fine. Or this part here where I jumped too soon and fell into the second pit. So I figure, okay, I'll inch my way carefully to the edge of the first platform, then jump onto the second one, inch my way to that edge, and then jump again, and I'll make it.
Nope.
Wrong! Try again, asshole! Look at this shit. Look at it. My foot is inches away from touching the platform. Inches, then all of a sudden I just slip and fall into the pit. You would think the momentum of my jump would be enough to propel me to the other side, but oh no, I just slip off. To be fair, the platforms are ice, so you could make an argument that, well, you slipped, so it was your fault. But if you look closely at the footage, you'll see that it's not the ice that actually makes me slip, it's as if I hit an invisible fucking wall and get knocked back into the pit. So it's not the ice that's the culprit, it's really bad programming. Despite that, I figure, okay, if I'm really, really careful, I think I can make it across. And one of the few saving graces of this part, if you can call it that, is that when you fall into a pit, you don't immediately die. You just go back to the beginning and lose a little health. By this point, though, I'm starting to get really pissed, and I'm about ready to quit. But I think, okay, persevere, just go really carefully, and you should be alright. So back to the jump. And then this really surreal shit starts happening. I get to the edge of the second platform, then turn around to go back and give myself a little running space. And then this happens. I literally float off the platform for a split second, and then I fall into the pit. What in the name of holy fucking hell is going on here?
Great playtesting, guys.
Plot twist. Beyond that point, the game's not finished yet, and they were just trying to hide it.
Right.
That's the only logical explanation I can give.
I could see some indie dev pulling that as a troll. I could actually see somebody doing that as a troll.
Fucking assholes.
What the fuck is this? The leap of faith test from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? I just fucking float out into the air. How in the fucking hell could these programmers let this shit slide? Alright, deep breath. Try it again. And again this shit happens. Only this time I'm not touching anything, so I literally just float in space over the pit. Like it's a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon. I don't touch anything for a little bit, but the moment I press left to get back on the platform, poof, I fall into the pit again. If I had the sense that God gave gerbils, I would say, fuck this shit, I'm not playing this glitched piece of junk anymore. But oh no, curious, stupid me, I gotta keep at it. From that point, I don't know how many more times I tried this jump. 20, 30, 50, 100? Christ, after like fucking 30 times I lost count.
I had a couple of jumps like that when I was doing Terminator 2 on NES.
Bruh.
Especially specifically in the steel mill stage at the end of the game. Which, yeah, you can imagine what a pain in the ass that was.
Yeah, and again, I'd like to report a bra moment.
All I can say about that is thank God for save states.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to cheat to win.
Yeah. I think I may or may not have had a jump or two like that during my Zelda 2 playthrough as well.
Like I said, the only logical explanation is that the game's not finished, they're just trying to hide it.
Yeah. There is that.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Fail. 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 In most good games, they try to ease you into the challenge. But not this one, oh no. It presents an impossible fucking jump not even 5 minutes into it. No matter what I fucking do, I fail. I crawl to the left edge of the second platform to try to get some running space, and I fall off. I try to run, jump quickly onto the second platform and keep running and then jump to the third, and I still fall into the pit. Have you ever in your life seen such a pissy jump as this one? If they took out the second platform and just had you do a running jump to the right side, it would be so much easier. But oh no, it's as if they're tormenting the player saying, haha, you have to jump onto the second platform, asshole. Then I try to crawl to the left edge again, and it's as if an invisible hand pushes me off the platform and into space, and I'm just fucking crouching in open space, not falling or anything. And then when I stand up, I'm fine until I try to move left or right. Then I fall into the pit again. Or there's this lovely part where I crawl out into open space for a split second, then fall into the pit. Or this wonderful bit right here where Arnie floats in space for a split second, then gets caught in an invisible earthquake and falls into the pit. I just love the posture that Arnie has as he's falling backwards with his hand thrown out like he has a case of the vapors or he's bidding someone adieu. Farewell! Ah!
Bruh. I feel this guy's pain.
Yeah.
Like he actually has a reason to be cussing up a storm here.
Yeah, I mean, God knows if I try to do this, I'd be mad as all hell too. I've never. The only.
Just imagine AVGN's reaction to this.
Oh, Jesus! He would incinerate the game.
I mean, I know he's thrown several cartridges to his fireplace.
Yeah, and he's among other things he's done to them.
It's like, what the hell? It's like, what the hell, man? You can probably sell it on eBay, get at least some decent cash for it. Like, don't fucking burn the fucking fireplace.
I think those are when he destroys his game cartridges. I think they're actually like props. I think he actually just has props made to make it seem like he's destroying the cartridges. Like when he runs a power drill through. There was one he ran a power drill through, and there was one that he took a shit on. Well, quote unquote, took a shit on.
Yeah, bombs away. Yeah, that was the Nightmare on Elm Street episode.
Yeah.
Like, they all took turns shitting on it, and it pissed off Freddy.
So,
like the Angry Video Game Nerd video game, not the Nightmare on Elm Street video game had 4-player mode. And it's like, well, how else am I gonna play? Clone myself? Then all of a sudden, 3 more James appeared.
Yeah.
And it's like, what makes you wonder who was actually providing the gameplay once they were off screen?
Right.
Oh well, probably the crew members.
Yeah. At probably the crew members at the very least.
I do.
Farewell! Oh! The way he says that. The way he says that gets me every time.
Yeah.
I have a theory. I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but here's what I think. I think that they wasted so much of this game's memory on the foregrounds and backgrounds and making them look all nice and the digitized opening that by the time they got to the collision detection aspect of the game, they had almost no memory left. So they probably went to a huddle and one of the guys said, "Oh shit, we don't have enough memory for good collision detection." And one of the other guys said, "Oh, who gives a fuck? We got Arnie's face in the cover. People will buy anything just as long as it looks nice." And everybody nodded and said, "Okay, that's good." So they half-assed their way through this part of the programming and thus we're left with a big pile of fucking shit. So after hours and hours and hours of failing,
so game companies, this trend of them releasing broken, unfinished products is not new. It's been going on for decades.
Hey. It's like when there were those unauthorized Nintendo games being released in stores and Nintendo put out a cease and desist.
Yeah. It's just become more of a glaring issue now with the internet and reviews being more prominent, and especially with game companies blatantly releasing games in unfinished states and just promising, "Oh, we'll patch it later, we'll patch it later, we'll patch it later." And it's like, okay, but what happens when your game is no longer supported and some asshole down the line wants to try an older game on an older platform and they can't because it's a broken, unplayable mess? Then you can't patch it later.
Yeah, because you got a bunch of lazy bastards.
Yeah.
Like all this big talk to make some money, they can't even finish the fucking game.
Yeah.
You have to do to beat this jump. You're gonna love this. You have to use the game's fucked up physics to get you across. Once you get onto the second platform, you have to run out into open space for a split second and jump off open space to get to the other side successfully. In other words, you have to ignore the laws of physics and your own common sense to beat this jump. Yeah, that's real great fucking programming. Hallelujah! I finally made it after, 500 fucking attempts? And that's not the biggest kicker of all. You want to know what is?
Oh boy.
This is the only jump with a pit in the entire fucking game. There are other jumps in the game, but none of them are over a bottomless pit. So my question is, why fucking put it there in the first place? What, were they trying to be fucking cute or something? These goddamn fucking shit-licking cocksuckers!
Yeah. I can't blame him for being like that.
He has a legitimate reason here.
Yeah. The only game I've ever rage quit was Operation Raccoon City, but I think I would have easily rage quit this game.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one different thing between you and I is I actually beat Operation Raccoon City to hell and back.
Right. Well.
I beat it on 360, but that was like not till like 3 years after it came out, and then I also beat it again when it became backwards compatible in late 2021.
Well, I'll just take one from Razor Fist's Mass Effect 3 review. Oh, what's that? Though you scored a direct headshot? Think again, motherfucker. Your bullet actually went through me, but you'll find if you aim to the immediate right or left, you can blow my head clean off my shoulders.
Sounds like Operation Raccoon City.
All right, calm down. It's not like they hammered a flagpole up my ass and hoisted me into the air. It's like Jesus said, turn the other cheek. Of course, if Jesus played this game, I think he'd say, fuck that turning the cheek shit, I'm gonna piss all over this fucker. Oh, and here's one last little kick in the nuts for you. You wanna know what company published this game? Grand Slam Entertainments. Grand Slam Entertainments? Are you fucking kidding me? This game doesn't even qualify as a fucking bunt. Maybe they should have retitled this company Strikeout Entertainments, or better yet, Shutout Entertainments. At least that would have been accurate advertising.
Yeesh.
So in conclusion, I must have been off my fucking rocker to keep on playing this game after that fucking jump. But hey, you know me, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'll have the rest of this review out just as soon as I get done banging my fucking head into a brick wall. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching.
And the rest of the video is just credits, so...
That's a certified bro moment.
Oh, but it... oh, wait, that's right, we're not doing full screen. I'll just change it to theater mode, that'll work.
After the aggravation of the jump from hell, I was about ready to give up on this review. But that moment was so horrible that it almost had me intrigued. I was like, could the game get any worse than this? So
Yeah.
I said, alright, if I see one more jump like this, I'm out. And as it turns out, there were no more jumps like this. But the game itself was so fucking terrible that I almost kind of wish I had quit in the first place. So anyway, let's get into it. The Running Man for the Amiga, the rest of the game. The graphics are one of the few things about this game that I actually like. The digitized opening with clips from the film is a nice touch, even though it's entirely superfluous. Also, the game gives you a quick clip of Ben Richards getting sent into the game zone. Again, it's not necessary, but I think it's a nice little detail nonetheless. As for the in-game graphics, I like the textures in both the foreground and the background. There's a good sense of depth to the world, and the graphics are gritty yet vibrant, very much in keeping with the style of the film's cinematography. Obviously, it's not a perfect recreation of the film's world, but then how could it be with the system's graphical limitations? Even so, the game designers did a really good job recreating the basic look of the film's universe. You can take one look at it and say, yep, that's Arnie, and that's the Running Man. And at least the game designers didn't make a garish eyesore whose color palette makes you want to puke. The only...
He may or may not be referring to Total Recall on the Commodore 64. Which looked like somebody just vomited onto a computer screen and said, that's what I want the game to look like.
Sounds like Commodore.
Well, I mean, there are good-looking games on Commodore. It's just Total Recall happens to not be one of them.
Yeah, let's not forget about the Batman game on Commodore, Batman the Cape Crusader. Or no matter how many times they don't fucking die.
Yeah.
I know Batman has a no-kill rule, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'll give for the game is that they actually bothered to try to recreate the plot of the movie. At least the second half of the movie, anyway. Just like the film, you go from zone to zone, bumping off stalkers as you fight your way to freedom. Once you defeat all the stalkers, you go back to the TV studio and defeat Damon Killian and all his guards and win the day. Hooray! It would be pretty hard to fuck up that concept, but of course if you give it to a bunch of bozos like the guys at Ocean, I'm sure they could find a way.
Oh, talking about Ocean, he has a personal vendetta against Ocean for how many movie-based video games they put out in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, brother.
I'm not exaggerating. More than half of his YouTube reviews are of, I'm pretty sure, are of games that were developed and published by Ocean.
gotcha.
I think the only one I've done on the channel, which he hasn't covered, was Jurassic Park on Super Nintendo, which, honestly, I actually like that game. It's not my favorite Jurassic Park game ever, but I do enjoy it. I think my... Sorry?
A lot of the Jurassic Park games were decent.
Yeah, I think currently my favorite Jurassic Park game is Jurassic Park 3 Island Attack on the Game Boy Advance, which I have a playthrough of that on my channel as well. I've been wanting to play Jurassic Park Trespasser for a while. I do have it installed on my computer, I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet.
Yeah.
So at least they got that part right, but as for the rest, forget it. The controls in the game are very sluggish. For example, when you throw a kick or a punch, there's a split-second delay between the time you hit the button and the time the character does the action on screen. And this delay makes it harder to fight because you have to time your attacks differently. Instead of hitting your enemy instantly, you have to press the attack button a split second before he's in range, otherwise you'll miss him. And this lag in the controls makes an already annoying game even harder to play. Another problem with the controls is that you have to press up in the control button to punch. Now this might not be so bad, but to jump you have to press up. So if you don't press up and control at the exact right time, your character ends up jumping instead of punching. And as you can well imagine, this is very annoying in the middle of a battle. They couldn't have used another fucking button on the keyboard to have the character jump, like the space bar or the shift key.
That's almost as... That sounds just as annoying, if not more annoying, than in Dirty Harry on the NES. You have to press B and A at the exact same time to get Harry to jump.
Yeah.
Which makes absolutely no sense.
At this point, does anything make sense?
It's like at that point, I would rather just press up to jump. Even though I'm not a fan of pressing up to jump in the first place.
Yeah, no thanks.
No, he's got to use the fucking control key for everything. Running is also annoying because to do it, you have to press left or right twice very quickly. If you don't do it fast enough, the character just keeps on sauntering along like his life isn't in danger. Actually, I don't even know why he's walking at all. The game's called the Running Man, not the Sauntering Man, or the Trotting Man, or the Light Spring in his Step Man, you fucking dipshits. An accurate title aside, where the game really starts to fall apart is in the gameplay. One of the biggest problems is that it's fucking boring. You run through mostly empty levels with no traps and very few obstacles and enemies. To be fair, the zones in the movie were pretty empty, but this is a case where I think they could have taken some liberties with the source material and made a much more exciting game. You know, some cannon fodder troops, a couple of machine gun turrets, a few flying bombs, anything but just fucking dogs and stalkers. It's only in the last level that you get to face some actual guards, and they aren't exactly the textbook definition of formidable opponents. Run in one direction, fire my gun. Run in the other direction, fire my gun. Derp, derp, derp. Great enemy AI there. Very cunning. Speaking of AI and cunning, we come to the Stalkers, and they ain't exactly Rhodes Scholars either. Take Buzzsaw, for instance. He runs back and forth with his chainsaw, and he can cause you a lot of damage if he hits you with it. However, if you keep crouched all the time, the dumb fuck never bothers to lower his blade and slice you to ribbons. And you can take him out easily by throwing a brick repeatedly in his face.
Dude.
This is way ahead of its time.
All I can think about is that part in the movie when Arnold slices Buzzsaw's nuts off with the chainsaw, and then he goes to leave the zone, and he's with Maria Conchita, and she goes, "What happened to Buzzsaw?" And Arnold goes, he had to split."
He had to split. When in reality, you circumcised the guy with a damn chainsaw.
Yes. That, I don't know which is the better line. That or later on, I can't remember if it was later or before that scene. He goes, I hope you leave enough room for my... He goes, I live to make you eat this contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine!
Savage.
Burn!
And back then, when a Schwarzenegger character said that, they meant it.
Yes! That sounds like something Conan would have said.
Or Terminator.
Well...
Except a robotic voice.
Yeah. I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine.
I mean, he learned fuck you, asshole. He can learn that.
Yes, and he did learn how to smile. If you want...
I mean, it's a very cringy, nightmare-inducing smile, but it's a smile.
Yes. And he learns why humans cry.
Because they're sad.
I know now why you cry, but it is something I could never do.
And I'm not going to call him a dipshit because that's how you get your spine ripped out.
Let's not pretend that scene was not very emotional.
Little bit.
There are two scenes that perpetually will make grown men cry. The ending of T2 and the ending of Furious 7.
Yeah. I mean, let's not forget about the joke I told last stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lily was mad at me for that one.
I can imagine.
And she's not even a Furious fan.
Right.
And she said, it's okay to have a dark sense of humor, but don't say it to where, like, potentially hundreds of people can hear you. And it's like, and I just said, babe, I don't give a fuck. Needless to say, I didn't get laid that night, but it's okay.
In the immortal words of Jean-Claude Van Damme, I don't want to know about your sex life.
That's all I said.
And he was saying that to Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the movie Double Team, Dennis Rodman is this arms dealer that Van Damme has to go see before a mission. And he asks him, who does your hair? Siegfried or Roy? And Dennis Rodman goes, the last guy who made fun of my hair is still trying to pull his head out of his ass. That leads to, I don't want to know about your sex life. I fucking love that movie. It is dumb, it's corny, it's goofy as all hell, but I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Don't even get me started on movies like that. You'll end up watching a 1981 movie, Caveman.
No thanks.
Not a bad movie, but it's fucking weird.
Noted. Okay. Moving on.
At the very least, it's not a porno. It's a regular caveman comedy.
Right.
I mean, from the first 5 minutes, you'll think it's a porno with claymation dinosaurs, but it's not. Trust me.
Fair enough.
Some parts I can't be too sure.
It's like that one Doctor Strange TV movie from the 70s where it was like porn without the porn.
It's like, bruh.
Ooh.
Yeah, there are some parts in this movie I really can't be too sure.
Right.
Like there's one instance of two men accidentally in bed together, and the guy tries to get out of the other bed, but the other guy grabs his leg, pulls him back, and puts his hands on his chest. Then when he opens his eyes, he realizes who he's touching. It's like womp womp.
Pause.
Yeah, that'll kill the mood real quick.
Right. Ooh.
Okay, let's.
Yeah.
I guess he forgot that you can lower a chainsaw blade below your waist. Dynamo is a bit smarter because he can shoot you while you duck, but you can outwit him by standing until the last second before he fires, then ducking. However, this Raiden wannabe can be a real pain in the ass, because if you go too far away from him, he'll chase you in his car and run you down. I don't know how that fat fucking light bright could get into his car so fast anyway, but whatever. Also, if you try to punch or kick him, he'll zap you, so you have to use a weapon against him. But once you get a weapon and nail his basic pattern down, he's really not that hard to defeat. You just gotta keep him on the screen so he doesn't run you over with that fucking car again. The same basic pattern applies to Sub-Zero in the first level. The only difference between him and the other Stalkers is that occasionally he'll shoot an explosive puck at you and go, "Yeah!" like he's passing a kidney stone. In the fourth level you have Fireball, and like the other Stalkers, he's not much of a threat. He fires a flame round that you can't duck, but then you can easily crawl under it. So where's the danger? Oh yeah, and he also flies back and forth with his jetpack like some retarded version of Boba Fett. He flies here, you hit him. He flies there, you hit him. You hit him, you hit him, you hit him. Am I still awake here?
Not really. Yeah, that. At that point, you're just.
At this point, you're just fighting a corpse on an uncontrollable jetpack.
At this point, you're the only way you're staying awake through this game is if you've downed like a couple of Black Rifle coffee, like triple espressos.
Damn.
Hey, those Black Rifle coffee espressos are pretty damn good. I like the Dunkin' Donuts brownie batter iced coffees more, but the Black Rifle espressos are pretty good.
Yeah. Agreed.
The only real danger in these fights is when you get a Stalker and a dog at the same time. It's a really cheap-ass way for the game to give you just a little bit more challenge. Fortunately, you can knock the dogs out for a brief time, but they still are really annoying when they get back up. My biggest problem with these Stalker fights is that they're just way too predictable and
John Wick
why couldn't the
intensifies.
game designers...
What?
John Wick intensifies even more.
Right. It's like Shamir Anderson's dog in John Wick 4.
No shit.
Gets thrown into a speeding car, bounces off, gets right back up.
Gets back to trying to kill him.
She's like, bitch, the fuck was that? I love that fucking dog.
Yeah. Yeah. You know who I can see being John Wick's dog for real? That one video of the dog who swings the machete at its owner and the owner is blocking him with a skateboard.
What?
John Wick, that video, he immediately takes the dog.
What?
We'll react to that. We'll react to that once this video's over.
Yes, I want to see that shit.
give these characters less predictable patterns and more interesting attacks. But no, we gotta have the same boring, by-the-numbers boss battles made by game designers who have all the imagination of a fucking block of granite. And as if that isn't bad enough, the game also has sponsor interruptions. What do you mean by sponsor interruptions? Well, here's what it is. Imagine you're in a fight to the death with one of the enemies in the game, and then all of a sudden the game stops to show you advertisements. That's right, fake fucking advertisements right in the middle of a fucking battle. This is, without a doubt, one of the stupidest fucking ideas I've ever seen in a video game. Could you imagine playing Castlevania or New Super Mario Bros. Or Call of Duty Modern Warfare and then all of a sudden, out of the fucking blue, an advertisement appears out of nowhere and stops the fucking game? What were these fucking fart suckers smoking? Yes, there were satirical ads in the movie, but they didn't stop the fucking movie to show them. And this is not an isolated incident either. It pops up again and again in this game. If I had any goodwill left towards this game, it's long gone.
That's like playing Cyberpunk and then just in the middle of it, you suddenly just get an ad for G Fuel for no reason.
Surprised that's not in more games than that.
Right? Ooh.
The only reason I even bothered to finish this game was out of sheer spite. And even that was made more difficult because you only get one life in this game. Get killed at any point in the game and it's all the way back to the beginning again. Yep, that beginning with the fucking horrible jump. In between each round, there's a mini-game where you have to match the uplink code symbols on the left with the ones on the right. Now, when I first got to this point, I thought this mini-game was here to help you get an extra life or two. But frankly, I don't give a flying fuck about this part, and so I never bothered to beat it. Nor do I ever care to beat it, for that matter. Anyway, later on I looked up the manual, and as it turns out, you don't get an extra life if you do beat this mini-game. Instead, you just get your health bar restored, which is kind of fucking pointless considering that there's health packs right in the beginning of the subsequent levels. As for the music, it's really not that bad.
Except it's just one tune looped over and over.
The only problem is that it's looped over and over and over again until I want to shoot myself. I don't understand it. These Nimrods could waste so much fucking time on making the graphics look nice, but they couldn't bother to put any new fucking music in each level?
Dear Sony ponies, this is why graphics alone do not make or break a video game.
No shit.
Just because the game looks nice doesn't mean it plays nice. You know, I would rather have a game look like shit that plays well than have a game look shiny and pretty and almost photorealistic but play like boiled ass.
Umbrella Corps.
Yeah, Umbrella Corps. Definitely.
Dude, that game was made of an engine that most smartphone games are made with.
Still wound up, and still buggier than a Charlie Sheen blood test.
No shit. I recently downloaded it and been playing it, but it's like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, you won't catch me dead playing Umbrella Corps.
I might play it on the channel as a joke, but don't take it seriously.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it. I ain't
like,
holding.
Like I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. That's probably gonna be my first commentary video.
Oh boy.
Yeah, definitely gonna get a strike for that.
What am I saying? These are the same fucking guys who put ads in the middle of a fucking battle. So after 4 levels of this mind-numbingly repetitive shit, you finally make it back to the studio. About the only good thing I can say for this part is that you finally get a gun. But they even have to make that part lame. Look at the way Arnie fires his gun. Have you ever seen such an awkward, unnatural way to fire a gun ever in a video game? It looks really, well, gay. Hold still, sweet cheeks, I'm gonna shoot you in the face!
Damn.
That line makes the video.
It does. Does, brah. Also, the freaking model for the character, fucking 2022 Black Adam looking ass.
Ooh.
When you finally manage to plow your way through the Derp Squad, you reach the last boss. Or you would reach the last boss if there were one. Instead, you get Damon Killian. Whoop-de-shit. Alright, to be fair, it is accurate to the movie, and I'll give him credit for this. It is kind of fun to shoot him back into the rocket sled. But come on, they couldn't have tossed in one last token boss battle for the hell of it? Maybe a fight with a big robot or that steroid guy? Nope. Then again, maybe I should just shut the hell up and be grateful that the damn thing's over. The ending is not too bad, and at least they give you one, unlike, say, Red Heat. But even if it were the most spectacular ending on Earth, it's still not worth going through all the fucking bullshit in this game to get to it. If you really want to enjoy The Running Man, just go watch the movie or read the book. You'll be a lot better off, trust me. So in conclusion, this game is an irredeemable piece of fucking garbage that you should avoid at all costs. And if there is any fucking justice in this universe, hopefully the people who created this game have lost their jobs and are now doing something more worthy of their talents. Like shoveling cow shit into a ditch. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching.
And remember when we did the reaction to the top 15 play stories?
Yeah.
That same channel, top 15 Walmart stories.
Oh god. Okay, first off, what's the name of that dog video you mentioned?
Just type in dog swings machete.
Dog swings.
First one.
Oh Jesus. What the fuck? Bro!
John Wick's dog.
Yeah! Have you seen that video where it's like a trailer for John Wick, but it's like John Wick gets killed and the dog becomes the badass assassin?
I'd watch that. Sorry, talking in my mouth.
This dog's gangster.
Dog's literally freaking swinging it.
Yeah.
Honey guy, I'd like to report a bra moment.
Jesus Christ. That's like that meme of you know you're in a bad neighborhood when even the birds are wearing ankle bracelets.
Yeah, no shit.
House arrest bracelets. Oh, of course it's a pit bull. What? I don't know what it is about just shitty people that just they just seem to attract
Teach
pit
your
bulls.
dog did it.
They just seem to attract pit bulls.
Hey, pit bulls are good dogs.
They are if the right person is raising them.
Como que no tiene bien cogido el machete.
I knew a guy who had a pit bull. She was the sweetest dog I'd ever. She was one of the sweetest dogs I'd ever met.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. I think the name of the channel is Top 15s.
Fuck!
John Tron Crab of a... Okay, let's watch that real
What
quick.
the fuck?
I don't claim to know God's
That's
plan,
not my
but in the
intention.
end, I'm just saying I am it. What are you gonna do? Realistically, how are you gonna get in here? I'm snipping away, I got a pinch, sometimes I got one big claw. There's not, you can't even get in here. Anima Royal, touch me, you're gonna be executed by the crab court. You're gonna do nothing. You're gonna do nothing. I know, what's your plan? Not what you say you're gonna do. What are you really gonna do? I'm in the sand. I'm in the sand. I reemerged. And that's you gone.
Oh god, did you see the video? The guy who put his hand too close to a crab cooker and the crab latched on. He threw the crab against the wall.
No, I'm not.
We'll have to find out after the Walmart stories. I'll remind you.
Okay.
Type in top 15 Walmart stories.
Legit, there's a Walmart in my area where I shit you not, literally, some guy took a shit in the produce section and trailed shit on his shoes from produce all the way to electronics.
Shoot him, just kill him.
He trailed this shit from produce down the meat section, down past the cheese, down past the deli, the dairy, and the shoes, all the way to the goddamn game section in electronics.
Yeah. I'm just gonna borrow one from the character Animal from Godzilla 98. Hey, come on, I'm eating here. Don't you see I'm eating? I'm trying to think. Who's the freaking guy in Godzilla 98 who played Animal, the TV recorder guy? I know it was a Simpsons voice actor.
I do not know. Actually, I am going to look that up. I think it's the guy who voices Mo in the Simpsons. So is it people of Walmart or is it funny Walmart people stories?
Yes. The first one is the one I'm talking about, but we can always watch the other one another time because to my knowledge, it's different stories.
Right.
No, because Reddit's a goddamn fine.
A few years back, I worked at Walmart as an assistant manager. I was working a 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. shift, and the overnight manager called off sick. So I stayed until 4 a.m. so someone working mornings could come in early and we could have it covered. Anyway, it was February in northern Illinois. The temperature outside at 2 a.m. was about 6 degrees.
This motherfucker did not just say Illinois. I'm from the state of Illinois. It's Illinois, not Illinois.
These people got me Illinois.
Exactly. Jesus H. Christ.
Oh boy. It gets worse.
Okay, I think the name you were thinking of is Hank Azaria.
Yeah, I know it was some weird sounding unique name.
Yeah. So.
At about 2:30, I get a call over the walkie-talkie to come up to the pharmacy and that you've got to see this. I went up to the pharmacy and see two younger guys. One was dressed in a lifeguard's outfit complete with a thick coating of sunscreen on his nose. The other was dressed in a complete walrus costume. I half followed these guys through the store to make sure that they weren't going to do anything stupid like pull fire alarms, and caught up with what everyone was doing stocking shelves. I lost contact with them because they weren't bothering anyone, and just went about my business. About half an hour later, I make my way up to the front registers and ask the cashier if she had seen the lifeguard and the walrus. She said that not only did she see them, but they made a purchase. The lifeguard found some sunscreen in the clearance aisle, and the walrus got a pack of salmon from the seafood department. They paid with cash and went on their way. Number 14.
What the fuck? I mean, at least they're selling their outfits.
I mean, people say Florida's a weird state, but look at Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois, there's some people in Illinois who are a bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and this is coming from two guys who are from Illinois.
Yeah. Florida, but you can only say Florida man because it sounds funnier than Illinois man.
Right. Yeah,
And that's typing against me and you.
Yeah, Florida man rolls off the tongue better.
Right.
I was a
like
customer service.
One of the last couple streams, we reacted to the craziest things that happened in McDonald's. There was that homeless guy. Crap. Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Like, what did you say before I said? Or
It was we were talking about Illinois man versus Florida man, and you mentioned something about.
Oh, right. That's it. It was a Florida man who did that. The one who homeless guy walked to McDonald's, asked for a water cup, got soda instead, and wound up in jail because of other shit he was wanted for.
Yeah.
Why are homeless people dumb?
Manager, or CSM, for 3 or 4 years. CSMs are in charge of the cashiers, stockmen, and surprisingly customer service. Most of it was fine, nothing special. People wanting to return things, I'd approve unless it was grossly old or against policy. Then there was this guy. This guy was in his 40s, probably, and at least 400 pounds, and he stunk. Anyway, he came to return underwear, used, obviously used, with skid marks and everything. He said the waistband didn't last. Well, yeah, they were size 38 and he needed a 50 at least. I denied their return on sanitary grounds, that we couldn't return used undergarments for any reason. This was true. I made a mental note to bleach the counter when he left and turned to leave. I then heard the counter creaking. I turned to find 400 pounds of that guy trying to climb the counter to attack me, while wheezing that my 220 pound 6'2" skinny ass had insulted him, and he was gonna make me pay. Somehow he made it over the counter but landed face down on the other side. Still a bit shocked at what was going on, I put my foot on his back to keep him from getting up and called for management assistance.
Dude, you ain't even gotta do that. At that point, that's like a turtle falling over on its shell.
Like, you might as well just walk away, go to enjoy the rest of the day. The problem will take care of itself.
Right. Brendan Fraser from The Whale looking ass.
Hey, don't insult our boy Brendan Fraser like that.
Brendan Fraser has more class than this.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Much more class.
And well, he's earned all the good things that have come to him.
Yes. God, yes.
Dude, like literally, growing up, the Mummy trilogy is my favorite series of movies. I'm not gonna lie, because you know they had that almost classic Indiana Jones vibe to them in some ways.
Yeah, hey, those movies were great. Those movies were a really good time.
Too bad a fourth movie's probably never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a fourth movie in the form of the Tom Cruise movie, but that bomb before it could start the cinematic universe it was setting up.
Yeah. And Universal's been trying to get a cinematic universe of their own started for years.
It's like it's not all it's cracked up to be. You have to go and make a bunch of references everywhere to like past movies and shit. Like bring in the same actors for every goddamn movie, and it's like, trust me, it's not worth the stress, you guys. Just keep doing what you normally do.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping this rumored Nintendo Cinematic Universe doesn't make the same mistakes as previous attempts at building a cinematic universe have made. Where they're so focused on building the franchise that they forget to develop the first movie on it to stand on its own merits.
Right.
But Nintendo is heavily involved in the new Mario film's production, so I'm sure it'll be fine. And they're notoriously protective of their properties anyway.
Yeah, Nintendo's response to fan shit, it's like, oh, you managed to do this mod in 2 months? No shit. Here's a cease and desist. Now stop it if you ever want to see daylight again.
Yeah.
Hey, Japanese people are fucking intimidating, bro.
And then you have Capcom, who is just like, well, I can't even say that because twice fans have attempted to develop their own remakes of certain games only to get a cease and desist. But Capcom sure as fuck doesn't care about the mods.
I was about to say, Capcom, I wouldn't exactly call Capcom putting out cease and desist. Like, they just gently say, hey, can you please not do this?
Yeah. Or you have the Daymare 1998 dev who was encouraged to build his own game.
See, Capcom's a bunch of nice guys. I like Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's actually a niche. You remember when Resident Evil 2 was first announced, and that guy had the "We Do It" shirt on?
Yeah.
If you pay close attention to like that frickin' statue-looking thing, like to the right of you, when you go to enter the main hall behind that shutter, if you do some zooming in and some modding, you can see it says "We Do It" on it.
Oh, nice.
You'll have to look up the video.
Very nice.
He was escorted out by the management and barred from the store for life. I got an extra 15-minute smoke break. I returned from break to find that guy's underwear still on the counter. No one wanted to touch them. I used the longest pair of tongs I could get from the kitchen area and threw the underwear and the tongs in the garbage compactor. By far the weirdest thing that has ever happened to me. Number 13. Alright, so I was working the register in the garden area of a small store. It was always really slow, and I don't think half of the other workers knew it existed. We had a ton of regular customers that we saw all the time. It was almost the opposite of what you think when you think Walmart. Anyway,
Yeah.
It was in a very ethnic area of Southern California. Not a lot of English was thrown around. There was this one guy that was pretty fresh off the border. He was always super jazzed when he came in over all the shit there was to buy. He had been coming for a couple weeks. I don't think he ever spent more than $5 in a purchase. So one day, I see him come around the corner with the biggest jar of pickles I think we could legally sell. And this guy looked so goddamn amped about it. He slid up onto the counter and just stared at me. I was like, hell yeah, man, that's how shit's done around here. And mentioned for him to bring it around so I could hit it up with a price gun. He had an awkward angle on it and drops it straight on the floor. Pickles start flying fucking everywhere. He looks at me like he just shot my dog or something, and then just starts blitzing for the exit. I mean, this guy was dipping so damn hard. I can guarantee it's the fastest he's ever ran. I come around out of the little register area and watch him lay rubber through the store.
Roadrunner looking ass.
It's like, bruh.
It's an accident, you know? Accidents happen. That happens.
You don't have to fucking run.
Yeah. That's like when
You're gonna make them think you dropped the jar on purpose, you dick.
That's like when you're a kid and you get in trouble, so you just all you can think about is just run away. Run away! Where? I don't care. Spain, France, Germany, wherever. Just run away.
Yeah, like that one episode of Full House when Stephanie drives Joey's car into the damn kitchen.
Ugh.
And she's having probably having those same thoughts you just spat out right there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I could watch Full House on Hulu, but I prefer to watch it on HBO Max because, you know, no ads.
Right.
Full House is my comfort show. Sue me.
That's fair.
At least it's something I can watch around my kid.
Yeah, there's that.
Because lately she's been starting to parrot shit.
Yeah. Well, kids are like that. Kids' brains are like sponges. They're just gonna soak up everything.
Hey, I'm surprised. Hey, with how much me and Lily cuss, I'm surprised that Bella's first word wasn't fuck or shit or cunt.
You'll be like.
There were a few times she gave Lily a look that just said you're a cunt.
Yeah,
at least, well, I've never witnessed it, but Lily sent me pictures. And I'm like, yeah, she's definitely calling you a bitch right now.
Yes. Kids can be like that sometimes.
So yeah, me and Lily, we just, try to watch the mouth around the kid.
Especially little girls can be like that sometimes. I know, I've got two sisters.
Wait, how old is Jenna?
She is about 27 now. Yeah, 27.
So I'll say I have her on Facebook, but I haven't been on Facebook much lately because of the hacking bullshit. But
yeah, well,
but hopefully over the next week or so, I'm gonna try and grow a pair, pull my head out of my butt, and try and be on it more. Because I'm pretty sure your mom and sisters have wondered where the hell I've been.
I mean, they've got their own stuff going on, so as long
as everyone's okay.
If they want an update, they're just gonna ask me.
Fair enough.
Anyways.
Yeah.
The exit in the garden center was like 10 feet away, but this guy heads for the exit on the other side of the store. I see him make it a good 70 or 80 yards and then turn the wrong way and run into the clothing department. It's a dead end, and he realizes it immediately. He was like a deer caught in a coffee shop. At first, he tries to duck behind the clothes racks, decides that's a terrible decision, and starts jetting in the other direction for the door. And after a good 45 seconds makes his great escape to freedom. No one knew what was going on. The manager starts freaking out, thinking there was a shooting or something, and I'm just standing there watching it unfold. I'm not sure how to react to it all just yet. I turn around and look at the other customers in my line, and we have all came to the fairly unanimous decision that it's the funniest thing any of us will ever see, and no one ever knew about it aside from us. Maintenance came and mopped up the pickles, and it was never mentioned again. No.
That poor guy.
Legend.
That poor guy.
He thought he was going to get arrested or in trouble, but it's like, hey, it was an accident.
Yeah, it happens,
Like, no one was mad at you, dude.
Yeah,
all you did was make yourself a laughing stock, but hey, we're still not mad at you because you made our fucking day.
Yeah, people drop glass stuff gets dropped and shattered all the time. It's not that it's annoying as all hell. It's frustrating, sure, but it's not worth like. It's not worth just jetting. It's not worth Speedy Gonzalezing your ass out of the store.
I speak decent Spanish, so if I was that guy working, I would have easily shouted out in Spanish, "Hey, it's okay, come back."
Yeah.
Hey, being able to speak Spanish has a lot of beneficial shit in life.
Yeah,
Until you assume someone doesn't speak English and they say, "It's okay, I speak English," and you feel like a dick. AKA most people of Japanese descent that I've met.
That reminds me of that.
Like, if any of you are watching this, I'm sorry. I never meant to be racist. I just didn't know. I was worried. I wasn't sure which language to speak because I was worried either way I'm gonna come off as a racist.
That just reminds me of that midnight screenings video that Brad Jones put up of when he and a couple buddies were talking about that awful kids movie Oogie Loves and the Big Balloon Adventure, and the one character has a thing where she can talk to animals, so they go up to this llama and her method of talking to a llama is llama, yeah, and the llama just goes, "I speak English."
That made me feel pain.
And one of the reviewers in the video is like, "Is that like me walking up to a guy from the Middle East and just shouting, Darka, 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 Haka Laka Laka?
Allahu Akbar."
You look like a complete fucking idiot.
And you look like a goddamn racist.
Yeah, you assume because she's a llama she doesn't know any fucking English?
Like, it's like, dude, you're just making yourself look like a fucking racist idiot. Stop. Go away.
You just started singing that awful, that one meme music video. I never know the name. That one. I never know the name of that song, but I know that's the one I was thinking of.
I'm sure if you sing into Google, it'll tell you.
Probably.
But dude, I remember back in the early in the early days of YouTube, like 4 or 5 years into the YouTube lifespan, there were like these terrorist fails compilations on YouTube, and they were playing that song in the background for every one of them. Or the Chacaron song, Chacaron.
Nice.
That fucking song.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that came out around the same time as the freaking when there was that video for the Weird Al song.
Yeah.
And I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me. And it's like there's a guy in the lane, or however the lyrics go, with his bright sun behind me. And I turned back to him and yelled out, "Hey, what are you trying to do? Blind me?"
Oh,
heard that song, 100 Ways to Die in Halo Reach.
Oh, Weird
So,
Al. Ooh. Anyways.
Alright, enough reminiscing the early 2010s. Let's get on with it.
Number 12. I don't work at Walmart, but I went into Walmart to get something for my son. I asked the younger fellow in the game section if they had a wheel for the Wii U since my son had just gotten Mario Kart for his birthday and loves it, and asked for a wheel with the extra birthday money he had received. He walks me over to the section with all the controllers and starts beeping away on one of those handheld beeper price things. He drops the handle to his sides, looks up in the air, sighs loudly, and starts mumbling. Then out of nowhere shouts, "Fuck Linda, fuck you. You can go fuck yourself, you are so stupid." He turns to me and says the stupid cunt I work with has no idea how to do anything. He throws his what I can assume is a few $100 device on the ground and it breaks into pieces and storms off saying, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna go call that stupid bitch and put her in her place." I backed away slowly and left. I went to Target and got it.
Bro!
Dude, that's like the chocolate guy from SpongeBob. You know, maybe he was saying that to you, but maybe he was actually not really mad at you, and he comes off when he goes and tells her off, he comes back being all nice to you and shit.
Dude, that guy was not having a good day.
Well, and that's funny. Yeah, that about sounds like Walmart in the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah, that dude was having a really bad day. If he was just blowing up like that in front of a customer.
I was originally gonna guess Tourette's or something, but
Well,
probably not. I thought, wait a minute, Tourette's is only like a crack here and there.
yeah. Yeah, no, this dude was just having a shit day.
Like there was one point in time I thought I had Tourette's because I kept going fuck fuck fuck. But then I realized, no, I'm just playing a game right now and I need to calm down.
Right.
The final boss in Jack 2. Oh! Like trying to shoot the boss while he sends his little scorpions after you, and it's like, I'm trying to fucking win, game. Jesus.
Yeah. The game has no chill.
That's probably one boss fight I'll never get to record properly for YouTube, but oh well. Alright, should we move on?
Yeah.
Number 11. Someone returned a mango to the store saying they didn't need it anymore. Was returned cut up into 3 different slices and stitched back together with scotch tape. Number 10.
Bro.
What?
How?
What the hell?
I feel like my brain just gave itself an atomic wedgie and then suffocated to death under its own underwear.
I feel like, okay, so you know that move, that silent takedown move, where Batman goes up behind somebody and his head goes under the right armpit?
Yeah.
And if you press the knockout smash button, you can just jump and just bash the guy's head into the ground.
Yeah.
I feel like my brain just did. I feel like that just did that to my brain. Like I don't know if that's an RKO or what it's called, but my favorite thing about Jack and Daxter is that you can do shoryukens.
Ooh, nice.
It's like, you want a shoryuken?
Shoryuken!
Yeah, there were a few times I had to think about who I was giving it to. Like that one. Like, remember just one time, when my girlfriend's nephew was, my fiance's nephew was trying to mess around with me, and he threw a block at him in the back of the head, and I had to stop myself and realize this is my fiance's nephew, not my brother-in-law who I wished it was. Hey, me and my brother-in-law, me and my soon-to-be brother-in-law get along just fine, but he's more stupid than I am. I mean, he's a good guy, he's got a good heart, but it's like, sometimes there's just you ever hear someone come out of someone's mouth, you just want to give that person a shoryuken? Because it sounded that stupid.
Plenty of times.
Well, yeah, you work at Walmart.
Yeah. Well, I haven't run into that problem at Walmart yet. But my last job, yeah, definitely there were plenty of times where I felt that way.
It happens, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
I used to work at Walmart in Northeast Tennessee, so I've seen my fair share of weird. People often show me the People of Walmart site, and I have to explain this was an everyday occurrence at that location. We had this particular family. We called them the incest family. Not very creative, but not the point. They would come into the store at least once a week. It was a middle-aged woman and what had to be her 2 brothers. They all looked exactly the same. Big Coke bottle glasses, messy matted hair, and poor hygiene. The female, I use this term loosely, would kiss both of the other guys on the mouth while walking through the store. It was a strange relationship. They all held hands and were close and cuddly with each other. The worst part is, they smelled. I mean smelled. We're talking cat piss, vomit, and Britney Spears fantasy all rolled into one. They would walk through the Walmart in a crowded set.
Bro!
Britney Spears what?
Cat piss, vomit, and Britney Spears fantasy.
Oh god. What kind of sexual fantasy is this?
Bro, why do I feel like these people live in the Baker house from Resident Evil 7?
They probably do. And this video came out long before Resident Evil 7, I think.
Yeah,
When was it posted?
Oh yeah, it was pre-RE7.
But right after Revelations 2 released.
Yeah, these people live in the Baker house.
Or at the very least, they were some of the Baker family victims.
Yeah.
But what the hell are they going on? But what the hell is our problem? Let's find out.
Saturday, and the ocean of people would part like Moses was standing on bottled water and holding his staff above the crowd. The places they walked would remain that way for a minute or so until this horrid odor disappeared and normal breathing could be had. I'm years away from that place, yet that memory still haunts me. I once had to sell them an answering machine, and that interaction is why I shower twice daily.
Oh.
Just that picture alone, bro.
That picture alone, it just reminds me of that one guy from Friday, that crackhead Izell. Oh, my neck, my back, and my back. I want 150,000. Oh, we can sell that out of court right now for $20. Man, get your punk ass up. It ain't even wet over here.
All I'll say is I really hope that's milk.
It looks like it is milk.
Number 9.
It's like,
Cousin was back on stocking shift around the dairy place with all the yogurt and milk and cheese and whatnot. A few kids came by, about 12 or 13, and were getting jugs of milk, probably inspired by gallon smashing, and were looking around cautiously. But since they had people everywhere, the kids couldn't really do it and have the same appeal as gallon smashing had. These kids altogether probably had 5 or 6 jugs of milk, and my cousin comes by and asks them if they need help with anything. Time passes and the kids move to another aisle with their jugs while my cousin subtly follows them. In an aisle with no one around, a kid with a jug throws it onto the ground and obviously the jug explodes and this kid slips into the milk. My cousin calls for a supervisor and tells them they'll have to pay for it. Well, since they're kids, they didn't want to, so they booked it. The kid at the front had 2 jugs and legitimately slipped, which made them both explode, and all 3 of the kids fell and were covered in chocolate milk. My cousin said it's the most justifying thing he's ever seen.
Bro!
that's a certified bra moment in itself.
Those boys looked like Harry and Marge slipping on the micro machines in Home Alone.
Bruh.
They just slipped, went straight up in the air, and just landed right on their backs.
Right.
Wet bandits. Literally the wet bandits, because those jugs exploded on them.
Yep. That's just bruh. My suspension of disbelief is already shattered.
Right. Oh boy, this looks like a Karen story.
No, in Walmart it probably is.
Number 8. One time this woman saw some ice cream in one of our ads, and we didn't actually carry it because we aren't a super center. Needless to say, I almost got punched in the face. She couldn't fathom the idea of us not carrying this raspberry ice cream. She was talking like, what? No, it's in your ad. Why? Where is it? It should be right here. After explaining in fine detail the reason we didn't carry it, she got right in my face and yelled at me at the top of her lungs. Her boyfriend just stood there and watched without emotion. She was most definitely cracked out on something.
Word of advice, people, not every Walmart carries all of the same stuff.
what you see on the website.
Yeah, not every Walmart is a supercenter. Not every Walmart carries all of the exact same stuff. There are some places that carry more items, more brand items than others.
Kind of like Dollar Generals.
Yeah. Yeah, no two stores are the same.
Yeah, that's a big no-shitter right there.
Yeah. It should be, but, you know, it not always is.
Unfortunately.
And, yeah, it's frustrating. It's bogus, but that also doesn't give you free reign to shout in someone's face over it.
Or the simple description, be a cunt.
Well, I call it being afflicted with Karenitis.
Karenitis, I still love that.
Ugh. So,
Number 7.
Yeah.
It was Saturday afternoon around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was sort of just moping around like usual. I was a customer service manager, so anything that involved a crazy customer usually went through me first, and today was no different. A middle-aged lady came up to me and asked if I could page a certain customer because her elderly father was out in the truck and was screaming out of the truck door for someone to come find his daughter. Well, I paged and didn't get a response in the usual amount of time, so I went outside to see if I could give this guy some help with anything. I didn't make it past the first set of doors because I saw a commotion and it took no time to figure out what the issue was. The elderly man was attempting to get out of the truck ass first and was, what appeared to be, taking off his pants. The lady that came in to ask me to page was apparently not the only person that had been concerned with this elderly gentleman screaming, because there was now, I shit you not, a police vehicle already there with its lights on, and there was an ambulance on its way into the parking lot. No one knew exactly what to do, so the emergency responder simply asked if he needed assistance and if he was safe and unharmed. The man, if he did in fact hear, made no acknowledgement of their presence. He continued to pull his pants completely around his ankles and shit what could only be described as a chocolate fountain turned upside down out of ass. It was a massive load of doo-doo and was basically liquid syrup and chunks of undigested items. At this point, an additional ambulance had arrived and one fire truck. He shit for what seemed like ages before simply pulling his pants up, no wipe mind you, and slid back into his rightful place in the passenger seat. Not a single fuck given. The police went over to the window and made sure he was okay, and the paramedics went in and found his daughter, who was completely oblivious to the paging that had been occurring until she was already checking out. My manager at the time was standing next to me and turned to me and told me to run and grab the body fluids blood kit and some bleach off the shelf and go take care of that with the janitors. Both the maintenance person on the clock and myself refused outright. We both told her we were paid nowhere near enough to go clean that pool up. She must have known we were serious and simply grabbed the kit and did it herself. I felt bad for her, but I couldn't do it. It was hot outside, and I can only imagine the smell would only make me add to the mess. No.
Bro!
You know, like I said, my suspension of disbelief has already been shattered.
That dude had a legitimate emergency.
But he needed a damn toilet, not a fucking supervisor.
Right?
It's like, bro, it's not even that. If you, well, I'd say have someone carry you, but it's like, I don't want that person to get shit on.
Right? Like, okay, I understand, like, when it hits you all at once and it's like, you gotta go right now. We've all been there. I have never been so in desperate need to use a toilet that I just, forget just basic dignity of getting out of the vehicle and running inside to use the can. I've never been in a position where I am so in need of relief that I just stick my bare ass out the window and just start shitting in the parking lot.
Yeah, I can't say I have either.
I've never been in that point. That sounds like that dude needs to be in like a nursing home or something.
I mean, I pissed and shit out in the woods, but that's because that was my only option at the time.
Right? That I understand, but
Just don't do it. Don't do it over poison ivy.
no. Ooh.
Some days, it's just something awful.
Number 6. Former Walmart employee, hope that counts. Not nearly as weird as some of these, but I watched a disgruntled employee spear 5 or 6 TVs with the forklift-like picker used to pull pallets off the top shelves in the back. He said he was sick of the job and had done everything he could think of to get fired, but wasn't having any luck. It was near Christmas, and they apparently needed people so badly he didn't get fired over this either. After coming back from a talk with the manager, he finished his shift, now banned from using anything bigger than a pallet jack. And when his shift was over, he said, "Fuck it, I'm not coming back. If that didn't get me fired, I don't know what will."
Dude.
The hell.
Like, I understand not being happy with your job and wanting to move on to greener pastures. I've had to do that twice now. I'm hoping I don't have to do it a third time.
You don't know with Walmart.
Well, so far the job's been alright.
I mean, my dad's been there for almost a decade and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, so far working there has been alright. But I've never been so, like, I've never understood that mindset where it's like you hate your job so much that you just want to get fired, because it's like getting fired does not look good on your resume. It really doesn't. If you're not happy with your job and you want to get a job elsewhere, it's like put in your do some job searching and put in your 2 weeks when you've got something nailed down. That's what I did.
Right.
It's like getting fired just looks bad on you.
Yeah, it's like you're literally. It doesn't make you look badass at all.
No, it makes you look like a jackass.
Like straight up, or like freaking Red Foreman and his wife. Dumbass. that type of energy right there.
To put it mildly.
I guess.
Jesus. That's just plain stupid. Like if it's that bad, go on Indeed, put in some applications, get something nailed down, and then put in your 2 weeks.
Not fucking hard.
No.
Number 5. One time I was coming off break and passed 2 older men. They looked a little odd, but I could only glance at one of them at first, which caused me to stop and turn around. 2 men in what looked like their mid-50s with tan skins wearing Bavarian barmaid dresses complete with shoes and pigtails were walking through the store shopping. I made eye contact for a moment and got the most serious look from one of them. They were acting like it wasn't unusual at all. To this day, I'm not sure what was going on. There were no events in that area at that time where people would be dressed up.
I don't know, maybe they lost a bet.
It's likely.
Maybe.
The only time you catch me doing that shit is if I lost a bet.
Right. Yeah, maybe they lost a bet over who was going to win the Super Bowl or something. or who was going to win the Daytona 500.
Right.
Oh.
Or Patriots were finally gonna lose.
Oh. Well, there's nothing too wild about that story.
No kidding.
Number 4. Tail end of the academic year near a local sketchy university. 20-something comes in to return a futon. It's clearly been in use for several years, despite their protesting. At the time, if you pitched enough of a fit, a manager would put anything on a gift card for its current store value. Off the top of my head, I want to say $50, but it could have been $100. Anyway, this thing was disgusting. Every imaginable stain was clearly visible. To do this kind of no receipt return with no visible barcode, someone had to get a UPC and then the supervisor had to use a key to override or approve the return. This happened around 10:30 p.m. when your second shift is usually wrapping up. Gotta be gone by 11. Anyway, the cash office lady was on her break, so all the cashiers were milling around while I waited on someone to get the UPC or override the return. The whole time the cashiers are making fun of the futon and busting on its condition. All the while the customer is silently sitting there fuming as they take stabs at the mystery stains. The cashiers had no clue the customer was the individual associated with the futon. Anyway, the final cashier rolls up, takes one look at it and is like, "Are we taking this back? Are we taking this back?" I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much," to which she loses it. She goes off mentioning the most suspect stains. About this point, a manager walks up to key in the override. I complete the transaction and give the customer their gift card. All of the cashiers lose it, just laughing and pointing. The college kid storms out, furious. Totally worth it for the store to eat the futon for this kid to be embarrassed.
Dude.
What the hell?
Don't be that guy. Well, first off, don't be that guy laughing at the customer, because that's unprofessional as hell. I know, I get it. It's fun to mock, but that's gonna reflect poorly on you later on.
It is.
And multiple people in this case. But at the same time, it's like, if you're that customer, don't be if your piece of furniture, or to talk about a previous story, your piece of clothing has clearly been in use in ways that no sane person would take that stuff back. It's like, don't be that guy.
Just throw it in the trash. It's over.
If this futon was in the condition it was in, take it to the landfill.
Yeah, just don't.
You're better off leaving it at a landfill, or just dumping it off in a junkyard somewhere.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or if you've got a relative who has a burn pile at their house, take it there. I have an uncle who burns his trash.
Yeah, we burn our shit too.
3.
So.
Saw a drugged out woman take a shit right on the little girl's toy aisle. Then she turned to some little Asian girl, probably no more than 5 years old, watching her, and yelled at her, "Yeah, you want to eat that up, don't ya? 'Cause your mama ain't putting food on your table no more." No.
The fuck?
What the hell is going on here?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure meth is involved.
Most likely.
It would not surprise me in the slightest if meth is involved in some capacity. Because no sane person would do that.
Yeah.
Jesus. Good God, people. No words.
Number 2.
None.
I work at the customer service desk, so I've seen some pretty messed up stuff. But the following story is the most insane thing I've seen this week. A few nights ago, I was in a pretty bad mood. I had just found out that I am one science behind on graduating, so I have to take an extra class this fall. I'm pretty good at settling myself down, but if something goes wrong in that time, well, it spins me back up again. The lines are long, people are upset, but the night hasn't gone too terribly bad. There are 2 of us working the desk and one at the money center. A lady, possibly the grandmother, is carrying her little granddaughter, maybe, who is about the age of 2. She's doing a simple return, and she actually had the receipt. For the majority of the duration of her little transaction, the little girl is yelling at the guardian that she needs to go pee-pee, but the grandmother, not wanting to stand in line again, insists that she holds it. All good so far. We get to the portion of the transaction where she receives her money and signs a slip saying the return is valid. The child then begins to pee. For whatever reason, this kid, no, not a baby goat, isn't wearing a diaper, so the urine begins to collect in a child-sized puddle on the desk. Instead of keeping the AOE to a minimum, the grandmother, in an act of desperation, swings the child in a broad circle to the right, causing pee to windmill around the desk and into the patiently waiting customers in line behind her. It was like a protractor, but with pee, the nana being the pivot. Instead of offering to help clean, the lady runs out of the door with the baby and her cash, and she didn't even sign the receipt. Who cleaned it up, you ask? Well, due to the urgency of the situation, I collected a mountain of paper towels and an ocean of disinfectant and had to clean it up myself.
Walmart, everybody.
I have no words. I have none.
I have no more fucks to give. My fucks have run up dry.
I've tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy. I've no more fucks to give, but more fucks I've tried to get. I'm over my fuck budget, and I'm now in fucking debt.
We're all in fucking debt over that shit.
Good lord. My brain just shit itself. I need a diaper for my brain because my brain just shit itself.
Hey, some people have brain farts, ours just completely shits itself.
Exactly. Not even solid shits either. It's that watery, diaphanous Hershey shits that come roaring out after a 2 a.m. White Castle binge.
Yeah, please don't ever describe it as Hershey's ever again, because you're just going to ruin Hershey's syrup for me.
The kind
or Lily when she inevitably watches this stream.
The kind that leaves you feeling more hollow than Joe Biden's promises.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, I actually saw a short earlier today that said, where Joe refers to her as Kamala, and it's like, Joe, it's Kamala, not Kamala, retard.
Oh. Ooh. Anyways.
Yeah, it's like that one Full House blooper where John Stamos says, "You ever seen the show about the 3 dads?" And Dave Coulier says, "Yeah, it's called Full House, you dipshit." Literally, we have to find that.
Nice. Oh.
And since it's bloopers, we probably won't get copyright for it.
Well, I wouldn't hold my breath. But, you know.
Worst case scenario, we just have to cut that part out.
Yeah.
Number 1. I worked at Walmart for about a year, but was not technically a Walmart employee. I was part of a company that handles the books and music. Anyway, I usually try to keep to myself and never really talk to anyone. Every now and then there'd be a stray employee that would browse through the books, killing time I suppose, while I was stalking. This one guy would come by maybe once a week, chat for maybe 10 minutes, and leave. He was a little weird, but never really creeped me out or anything. Mostly we just talked about what books we like or what was coming out soon. One day, he tells me that his ancestors are Cherokee Indians. At this point I'm thinking, yeah, sure buddy. Where I'm from, everyone claims to have a Cherokee background. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and freckles? Yep, gotta be Cherokee for sure. That's not the point of my story though. This man proceeds to explain to me that the other side of his family are Wood Elves, and that the Wood Elves had a close relationship with the Cherokee Indians. He proved this point to me by showing me how pointy his ears were. I could not think of a single thing to say to this guy, so I just kinda smiled and nodded in some sort of agreement. Walmart can be such a weird place. Got an idea for a top 50.
The hell?
That's a hell of a finish, don't you think?
Yeah, that's kinda odd.
That's definitely a what the fuck moment.
Yeah. Now, this is the thing I mentioned. Dog Wick. That's what it's called.
Dog Wick.
Oh, rocket jump. Oh, come on. I hope that's not copyrighted music. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it.
Daisy.
Bruh.
Do you have any idea who it was you killed? Idiot! You killed John Wick's dogs, human. And that human was John Wick.
That dog chose violence.
This dog dead!
No law in here says dog can't shoot people. And John Wick 2
Their dogs will find a way.
Hey, some of those small dogs are pretty mean.
I could see them pulling a trigger.
Oh.
That's just bruh.
Yeah.
How many bras can I say in one video before the video gets cut because I overused the word bra?
I have no idea.
Well, I guess since it's worth a shot, I guess type in Full House bloopers. Trust me, there's a lot of cuss words in this video. It'll be fine.
Okay. Hopefully this doesn't get us get the stream extinguished.
Footage is blurry enough.
You said there were too many dads here.
Oh, you heard us girls fighting, huh? Again.
I'm gonna say this full frontal. Or straight up, full frontal, straight up, whatever. I am not a Full House fan. Never have been. Never cared for the show.
Bob Saget's raunchy.
Again? Well, I had 4 glasses of iced tea.
Yeesh.
Okay, go on.
Are you sure that's from drinking 4 glasses of tea and not from you spending too much time performing self-maintenance? It's like that episode of My Wife and Kids when Junior broke his dick from whacking it too much.
Oh god.
He had a muscle spasm.
Yeah, a muscle spasm will do some damage.
Yep.
It gets me.
Maybe there's too many dads living here in this home. And just what is that supposed to mean? Haven't you ever seen that show, My 3 Dads? Yeah, it's called Full House, you dipshit.
Womp womp.
Well, usually
Yeah,
it's a
that was an
little...
actual Full House.
What? What?
That was an actual Full House bloop.
Yep. That is a thing that happened on the set of the show.
I'll never watch the show the same way again.
coin slot you drop a quarter into. coin slot. Well, usually there's a little coin slot you drop a quarter into.
Oh, I get it. One of those happy little accidents.
And back when they actually had an actual audience for a laugh track.
Yeah. Yeah, which, honestly, laugh tracks are part of the reason I don't really watch sitcoms, because I find them more often than not distracting.
Nah. Well, I'm just saying, God bless the shows who actually have an audience to react to it, instead of, putting in those clearly half-assed laugh tracks that sound like the same every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I those are just no. Just no.
Yeah.
I will say
that
that kiss reminds me of this outtake from X-Men Days of Future Past when Halle Berry is supposed to kiss Hugh Jackman, and she just goes and she does it, and then she just walks off camera and just shouts, "Yes!" I mean, in all fairness, she kissed Hugh Jackman. Who wouldn't be that way? Ooh.
Just so proud to be on this show and so lucky to be able to work with you all. Thank you very, very much for all your hard work. The writers especially for making us look good, and the people in the office. I'm getting touched. Dave, come and help me. I couldn't agree more, and we really love you guys, and a lot of times when we're not here at the show, we're talking up just how great you are. Thank you for everything. I've waited all season long to do this, and this, and this, and this, because you know it's been all year long, so I'm getting my buttons back there. Hey, Mo! Yeah, I'll come with your hands up. I don't care! I needed to do this! Thank you guys.
What?
That about sums up all their friendships on set.
It could have been worse. He could have given him a wedgie.
That'd be a hell of a blooper to try and explain.
Yeah.
Very, very, very much. I feel so much better now.
Now that I know you and how sweet you are, you're my friend. I'm gonna miss you so much.
That dog's like that horse is like, I've heard enough of your shit today.
Okay, I think that's enough Full House bloopers.
Yeah.
I really only wanted you to see the one where Dave Coulier calling John Stamos a dipshit.
Right. Oh.
Nope.
Was there anything else you might have had in mind?
Huh?
Was there anything else you might have had in mind?
Well, first I was gonna say, like, I'm glad that didn't make it past the censors, because Full House would have had the plug pulled.
Right.
Especially how sensitive the freaking censor boards were back then.
Well, it was also, I mean, this wasn't live television anyway, so.
Right. And I had an idea for one last video for the stream before we cut it. Let's see. It was a same channel, the previous video we viewed, but top 15 night shift stories.
Well, depending on how long it is, we might save that for the next one. Yeah, because I gotta be making dinner soon.
No problem. Sure, we'll find something shorter.
Yeah, I can find.
Like, how about one of my videos?
Oh, we can do that too. Went too far down. That's what she said.
Yeah, maybe how about the Jack 3 Vigor's robot boss fight?
Okay.
I almost did this with no damage, but
I think I've only played a little bit of the original Jak and Daxter, so...
Oh, I got the final boss video for that on here too.
I never finished it. As far as...
since you're on PlayStation, you have access to it.
Yeah.
I almost got...
Well, he seems friendly. Well,
That motherfucker got...
yeah, you got
There goes no
wrecked.
damage.
You just get wrecked. You got reeked.
Yeah, it's one of those boss battles where they get more aggressive, a little more aggressive each time it comes to this kind of thing.
Right.
I wasn't taking any chances. I just did the frickin' duck and jump move.
Well, sometimes you got... That's just how you gotta do it.
I find it hard to believe this game is 19 years old. Came out in 2004. A year after Jak 2. Came out in 2003.
Well, yeah, development cycles were much shorter back then.
Jak and Daxter's been known for reusing assets in their sequels. Like, notice that the moveset and running, like the walking, the running, the punching, kicking, it's the same in both games.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, if you've got the assets, it makes sense to reuse them. Woo!
Oh, yeah, he almost got me there.
Yeah.
Now he's fucking General Grievous-ing it. Or actually, no, he was Star-killing it. You know, dual lightsabers.
Yeah. Just one half of a General Grievous.
Yeah.
So uncivilized.
Just no more civilized. Little bit more civilized than when Leon just straight up starts shooting Ramon in the Resident Evil 4 remake.
You talk too much.
I haven't even played the game yet, and I still say I'm just gonna say right now, that's my favorite scene.
Because that's what every one of us wanted to do back in 05.
Right?
Nice work.
Got a new gun pop with that boss.
I am curious to see if that Jak and Daxter movie with Tom Holland ends up being made.
And if they do it, I mean, I was surprised to find out I was watching a retrospective Jak and Daxter video yesterday, and it's mentioned that John Carpenter said it's one of his favorites.
Yeah, because he is a big gamer.
Even in his old age, he's a big-ass gamer.
Yeah, he's been an advocate. He's been an active supporter of the video game industry for years. Spielberg is a big gamer. I'm trying to think.
We all know. Wait, what?
I'm trying to think of who else is.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill is a big gamer. Megan Fox is a gamer.
I can see Henry Cavill having a role in the Jak and Daxter movie.
Mila Kunis is a gamer.
That's not surprising.
I know Terry Crews is a gamer.
Hopefully at some point John Carpenter has time to direct a Jak and Daxter movie, since if he loves the game that much, he can give us a good Jak and Daxter movie.
Yeah, well,
As for Tom Holland as Jak, after playing the recent Jak 2 and Jak 3 and you can actually turn off Jak's goatee. Like, you can either play with him with a goatee or play with him without a goatee. And that baby face, I can just see Tom Holland fit in that role. I can just, especially if they're doing it based on the first game when he was a mute. But the thing is, the reason Jak is a mute in the first game is because, developers wanted to make them feel like you're actually, like, you are the character you're playing as.
Yeah, a lot of games did that back in the day. I know Zelda still does that. Uh,
Mario kind of, apart from that, wahoo!
Yeah, Mario, apart from his wahoo and his yippee.
Bruh. Okay, bottom right corner, Nuki, the ET ripoff. How long is that video?
43 minutes.
Yeah, we're never gonna be able to put that in our streams.
Not. We'd have to.
Look up a trailer.
You don't want to know. Trust me.
What, Nuki?
It's an awful, like. I'll send you the link to it after the stream, but my God, it's aggravating to sit through. Just the
Dude,
review.
I've sat through Asylum films. I don't think it can be that bad.
Well, then we'll save it for the next stream.
Yeah, I'll get my thoughts on the next stream.
But
Alright, we got time for one more?
I suppose so, which is why we're gonna watch that Total Recall on the C64 that I mentioned.
Let's do it.
Oh, daddy.
You want to know how bad Total Recall for the Commodore 64 is? Well, let me put it this way. If over half the people who slammed Total Recall for the NES played this game, I fucking guarantee that they'd take their comments back in a heartbeat. In fact, this game is so mind-numbingly awful that I can't believe the game designers put their real names on it. If they were really smart, they should have just claimed that some pirate software company made the damn thing and washed their hands of it. But in any event, even if they did that, it would still exist. So let's get it over with. Total Recall for the Commodore 64. Normally when I begin a review, I start by saying something nice about the graphics. But I can't say anything nice in this case. Christ, this fucking game looks ugly. You got your hideous dog vomit yellow ground and your shit brown bricks in the background. It just looks fucking horrible. And what the fuck is this place supposed to be anyway? The Wizard of Oz's whorehouse? Seriously, does this look like anything even remotely related to the film?
No.
If this game didn't have the words Total Recall in it, would you really think it was based off that film? I sure wouldn't. I would think it was a level of Super Mario Brothers as reinterpreted by a meth head. And look at what they did to Arnie! They turned him into Captain Ramrod of the USS Reach Around. Didn't anybody associated with this game know that there's more colors in the palette than puke yellow shit
USS Reach Around.
I mean, he isn't wrong. Arnold looks like he should be jumping up on a stage at some point and singing, "It's fun to stay at the YMCA."
Please don't get our stream copyrighted with that good impression.
Well, Violet, about the only good thing I can say is that at least they didn't dress him up in pink. But big whoop, like that would have mattered.
Oh, that's why it's so
As
low.
if the graphics weren't repulsive enough, they were nice enough to include a pair of lungs on the lower right-hand side of the screen. Gee, thanks for the anatomy lesson, guys. I really wish I could say that the graphics were the worst part of the game, but unfortunately it's only the tip of the iceberg. The controls in this game are sluggish, and the jumping in particular is a nightmare. This is one of those games where if you press up, the character jumps up and forward. And this type of jumping can be particularly annoying when you're trying to clear obstacles because Arnie's character bounces off the fucking walls like he's made out of flubber. But what makes it even worse is that the game isn't consistent. Sometimes you can jump into walls and bounce off them, and sometimes you can pass right through the walls and get killed or fall into some trap, like this part. How in the fuck could I pass under and through a wall when a few seconds earlier I was bouncing off it like a fucking racquetball? What makes the jumping even more annoying is that sometimes you can bounce off an object, fall into a pit, and get killed even though you didn't mean to go in that direction. Even worse is when Arnie's character falls. Instead of being able to control his direction, he just drops like a fucking stone. Occasionally this drop is useful when you want to kill enemies with Arnie's butt. Unfortunately, it's much less useful when it comes to avoiding enemies and obstacles that can kill you. This game is so glitchy and badly programmed that even basic jumps can get you killed. Look at this shit! How the fuck could my head pass right through the fucking floor and touch a lethal beam? Isn't that supposed to be a solid object? But no, not in this game. This game likes to play loose and fast with its rules.
You know, at least TMNT on the NES, that one awful, like, completely pointless red herring gap At least when you jumped and you hit the ceiling, you hit the damn ceiling.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that, dude.
You can
People
just
say,
walk over it.
People tell me I'm too young to remember playing Nintendo. Hello. Early 2010s, I found a few emulator websites.
Yeah.
And I played a fair share of the NES library.
Yeah.
Thanks to that website. It's like, I know, it might not be my time, but I still know a thing or two about it.
Right. Same.
Dear Christ, you can even be harmed by objects that you can't see. Like this part here. I jump up and I shouldn't hit any beam, but apparently the game registers a hit and takes away some of my life. If you look in the dictionary under the word fair, you'll find many things associated with it, but this game won't be one of them. Most of all, what's really odd with the jumping is that occasionally you can kill enemies by jumping up through them. This is the only game I know of where you can not only kill enemies by landing on them with your ass, you can also kill them by sticking your head up their ass.
That's not even a bro moment. What the hell is wrong with you?
I mean, he isn't wrong. That is definitely what it looks like.
And definitely sounds like a normal. It's definitely accurate because I'm pretty sure at some point in his movie career, that was a Schwarzenegger threat.
The gameplay is boring as shit. All you do is run through a semi-maze-like level, kill some bad guys, and get to a phone booth at the end. Wowee! That only sounds like every other generic side-scrolling adventure game I ever played in my life. People bitch about the NES and Amiga versions of Total Recall, but at least they had something to do with the fucking movie. At least they had some set pieces from the film. What has this game got? Oh yeah, you collect some oxygen icons for extra points. Holy shit, you guys are sticking really close to the source material. But in all seriousness, if it doesn't affect gameplay in any way, then why fucking put it in there? If they made collecting the oxygen icons a necessary side quest, then that would enhance gameplay. But it doesn't matter except for maybe gaining some more points at the end of the level. In fact, nothing you do in this level matters except surviving. There's no puzzles to solve, no tasks to complete, no boss to fight, there's nothing. Like Cobra for the C64, this game epitomizes dull, generic gameplay. Those problems alone would be enough to sink the game, but then you can also add in such flaws as bad enemy AI. Jesus Christ on fucking LSD, look at these bozos. What, if they got a fucking spastic colon or something? Since the game designers can make enemies who can stand and shoot and others who can duck and shoot, do you think they can make enemies who can do both? Why, of course not! That would be asking too much out of them. Yet another flaw is the awful hit detection. For example, sometimes bullets that should hit you pass right through you, while other times bullets that you fire pass right through enemies without harming them. I don't believe this. Was this game even tested, or did all the programmers go out and get bombed on Jägermeisters?
Oh, they definitely got bombed.
Definitely review bombed.
Yeah, and they definitely got sloshed.
That's a certified die-on moment.
So according to this game's fucked up logic, sometimes you can shoot enemies while ducking, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't shoot standing enemies, sometimes you can. Am I the only one who'd like to see a little consistency in the hit detection? I hope not. Apparently simple shit like spell checking was beyond these people. Utilize is fine because that's UK spelling, but briefcase? I guess the game programmers went to the Irate Gamer School of Spelling. Oh, and as we enter the second level, let's not forget pursuers. Great! Now the game programmers are operating off the Chris Bohr's I couldn't use a fucking spell checker to save my life principle.
Oh.
That's a certified bra moment.
I mean, any day ending in a Y is a good day to make fun of the irate gamer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The graphics in the second level are slightly more bearable than the ones in the first, but then again, that's kind of like saying I have a slightly less severe case of herpes than you do. This level quickly pisses away what little goodwill it's earned by giving you even worse controls than the previous level. The car's controls are so fucking sluggish that you literally have to pound on the directional button multiple times to move 90 degrees in any direction. Not to mention the fact that the controls are so unresponsive that half the time the car won't even turn when you want it to. For an added little kick in the nuts, the game only gives you 54 seconds to get used to the controls. So I hope you're a real fast learner. If like me you're not, then you're going to need one of the game's 3 extra continues. And even after using all 3 of those, you still probably won't be used to the feel of the car.
No.
Once you finally adapt to the terrible controls, the game fucks you over yet again. How, you might ask? By making the level into a maze, of course. As it turns out, you have to drive along a certain path and make certain jumps with enough speed to clear them, and you have to reach a spaceport in under a minute, otherwise you're fucking screwed. Sure, it might sound easy, but the game has a number of ways to mess you up. For one thing, if you take the wrong path, you'll end up on an island and not have enough speed to clear the second ramp. So essentially, you either just have to kill yourself or let the time run down. For another thing, if you miss the speed icon or you run out of speed for whatever reason, you will not be able to clear the jumps. Try it and you'll lose a life no matter how close you get to the other side. For a third thing, the map in the upper left-hand corner is fucking useless. Basically, this is one of those types of levels where you have to keep on fucking up again and again to figure out where you have to go. That alone might not have been so bad, but the problem is after you lose your 1 life in 3 continues, you have to go back to this.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
No way am I playing that.
The only good thing I can say about this driving level is that it's short, and once you know what you're doing, you can get through it with few problems. Now after this travesty, you would think the game designers would say, okay, let's give the player an actual level, that's fun. But what did these geniuses give you? Why, another driving level, of course! And as terrible as the previous driving level was, this second one is so fucking horrible that it's borderline unplayable. How much worse than the previous level could it possibly be? Well here, let me give you a clip to show you.
Oh, brother.
4 seconds, people. 4 lousy fucking seconds and the car's already killed me. That's not a fighting chance. That's a fucking joke. In fact, this level is so fucking terrible that I need a Levels from Hell review just to cover everything that's wrong with it. But I can sum up all the aggravation this level's given me with one word. The last level of the game rehashes the same...
The one word was motherfucker.
Oh.
Same bad, tired platforming in the first level. And the only new additions to the gameplay are these beam wall obstacles that can kill you almost instantly and make the platforming even more aggravating than it already is. Also, just for shits and giggles, the game decides to toss in a new enemy, the retarded offspring of Jar Jar Binks and C-3PO. This enemy might have posed some threat to you, except for the fact that you can blow it up with explosive bullets or just knock it down with your regular gun and run away. I wish I could say that the game designers had something great lined up for this last level, but it's not the case. Overall, this level, like the rest of the game, bears so little resemblance to its source material that they may as well name the whole damn thing Little to No Recall, because that's what the fucking game designers were suffering from. The second half of the film is almost completely absent from the game, and there's no boss battle with Laurie or Benny or Richter or Cohagen. Admittedly, the ending does redeem the game a little bit because it's more faithful to the film than the game was.
I mean, that doesn't really count for much. Just because... you know, like at least the NES version, you got the boss fight with Benny and you got the boss fight with Cohagen.
Right. And that's probably the most accurate NES image that's probably the most accurate video game image I've ever seen.
Right? where Cohagen turns into Roger Ebert.
Definitely a scene. Definitely looks like a scene, live action Looney Tunes scene.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's a case of too little, too late. And is it just me, or does it look like Mars is covered with shit in this picture? Oh yeah, and they forgot the fact that the top of the pyramid was blown off at the end of the film. Plus, they were standing on the damn thing looking out at Mars, not standing away from it looking at the whole intact pyramid. Ah, details. Who needs them when you can make up whatever shit you like and then stick it in a game? So in conclusion, I implore anybody who slammed Total Recall for the NES to play this game. Once you've done so, I'm sure you'll understand why I defended the Nintendo version. Despite its flaws, it, along with the Amiga version, is a far more worthy adaptation of the film than this piece of shit could ever hope to be. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching.
That's a certified bra moment in itself.
Yeah, the NES version, for whatever flaws it suffers from, is actually not that bad. I actually enjoy it.
NES, it's got a solid library. Yeah, it's got a solid library, and at least the games are playable.
Yes.
Even if they're insufferable and hard to complete, they're still playable.
Yes. And some of those games are pretty damn good.
Yeah, like TMNT.
Yep, and the old Zelda. But
Yeah. Nintendo's originals have always been good.
oh yeah. But
That's one we can all agree on.
on that note, it is after 6 o'clock where I'm at. I have to go fix dinner, so we are going to sign off now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around, and we will catch you all.